How do dinosaurs fit into the Bible? This is a common question. In fact, many people believe dinosaurs may disprove the Bible. This is far from the truth. The Bible tells us that dinosaurs were created on day 6 of creation week when all land animals were created. Dinosaur kinds also entered Noah's Ark when the flood came. However, like all other animals, the majority of dinosaurs were left behind and died in the catastrophic global flood. Did you know that is exactly what the fossil record shows us? Dinosaur fossils are often found in thick, water-deposited rock layers all around the world. These large-scale regional areas include the famous Hell Creek Formation, Dinosaur National Monument, and the Scollard Formation, among many others. What do scientists say is the official cause of death? Well, for the largest dinosaur graveyard in the world, found in Alberta, Canada, scientists say that tens of thousands of dinosaurs drowned to death. There's a similar site at the Hanson Ranch bone bed in eastern Wyoming with the jumbled up remains of an estimated 10,000 to 25,000 dinosaurs. The interesting part is that this massive bone bed exhibits normal grading, with the larger bones like femurs found concentrated at the bottom of the layer and the bone sizes fine upwards, with smaller bones like vertebrae found at the top. This is diagnostic of a water-deposited environment. This means that this massive layer was deposited by a single watery catastrophic event, much like what happened during Noah's flood. If all of this is true, then dinosaur bones can only be thousands of years old, not hundreds of millions, as scientists claim. Is that even possible? Well, back in 2005, Dr. Mary Schweitzer made a significant discovery. She found soft dinosaur tissue in a fossil bone that was allegedly 65 million years old. Well, how soft is soft though? On the TV program 60 Minutes, Dr. Schweitzer showed physically stretching the tissue with tweezers, proving that the tissue had neither rotted away or permineralized. Since then, more and more original soft tissues have been found in dinosaur bones as well as many other types of fossils. In fact, there are soft tissue fossils found in every single geologic period, which is an amazing evidence showing that the entire geologic column cannot be millions of years old. Why does soft tissue mean a young geologic column? Scientists have tested the limits of original soft tissue survival. When researchers experimented with one of the toughest proteins in your body, bone collagen, they found a decay rate that at a low temperature would allow bone collagen to last a maximum of several 100,000 years, a far cry from the multiple millions of years required by evolution. However, one of the most amazing finds is with a particularly delicate organic molecule, DNA. Intact DNA sequences have now been found in multiple dinosaur fossils. This is unexplainable according to the evolutionary theory. Experimental evidence backs this up. Scientists examined 158 ancient leg bones from the extinct giant moa bird from New Zealand. After extensive examination of these bones, the research team generated a reliable DNA decay rate of a maximum of 650,000 years. Once again, this goes against the evolutionary paradigm of millions of years old. These experimental results are inconsistent with the millions of years required by evolution, but the scientific evidence is consistent with the biblical narrative of thousands of years. If the dinosaurs lived so recently, is there evidence of humans interacting with dinosaurs that survived the flood before their eventual extinction? Even though there isn't much physical evidence of direct human and dinosaur interaction, human history is full of legends and depictions of dinosaur-like creatures from ancient cultures all over the world. Many of these dinosaur-like creatures show surprising accuracy to the size, shape, and specific morphology of dinosaur fossils that have been since unearthed. One amazing example is found in Carlisle Cathedral in northern England, where a marble tomb was constructed for Bishop Bell, who died in 1496. Surrounding the tomb is a brass inlay containing a variety of etchings of everyday animals and some plants you may even recognize today. However, there are two animals present that some people have categorized as mythical. They have a very similar appearance to long-necked sauropod dinosaurs, and one of them appears to have 4 spikes on its tail. Skeptics were quick to chime in that these couldn't possibly be sauropod dinosaurs, especially because at that time there was no sauropod dinosaurs with spikes on their tails. But that changed in the 1980s when the first fossil of a Shunnosaurus was discovered in Sichuan province in China, complete with 4 tail spikes. Isn't that amazing? How did people in the 1400s etch a morphologically correct Shunnosaurus before modern paleontology discovered it in the 1980s? The best explanation is that these etchings were a product of human eyewitnesses who saw a living Shunnosaurus. There are many more examples of these eyewitness accounts found throughout other ancient cultures around the world. One notable one is in the book of Job, where speaking of the behemoth it says, quote, "He moves his tail like a cedar, his bones are like beams of bronze." I don't know an elephant with a tail like a cedar tree. This sounds very much like a sauropod. You see, attempts have been made to use dinosaurs as evidence to discredit or contradict the Bible. However, the truth is that the scientific evidence aligns more closely with biblical accounts rather than the evolutionary paradigm. Isn't that amazing? This is because the Bible is the inerrant Word of God.